frustrated, and unhappy. That's how many Czech immigrants felt after arriving to America during 19th century. Many did not understand much English, and big cities were too confusing for them. And so, when Homestead Act was introduced, many Czechs headed for Midwest right away. Back home, in Austro-Hungarian Empire, they could never own a piece of land, and here it was given almost for free. In groups, they often headed west until they found a place where they all could settle.
More Czechs settled in Nebraska than in any other place, but here they even named their village after the Czech capital.
To this day, streets of Prague bear names of significant Czech towns. At one point, parts of Nebraska were completely Czech, and English was not spoken in many families.
When I was a little girl, Grandma didn't know English, so we had to speak Czech. And when I started country school, I didn't know a word of English.
Even centuries later, Czech traditions are still alive in many places. This is Wilbur, Czech capital of America. Museum here features Czech doll collection, Czech dishes, Czech costumes, and replicas of early immigrant homes. Also, many stores in Wilbur sell traditional Czech goods, whereas Karpíšek has owned Czech market for more than 15 years.
Wilbur wieners are our biggest seller. The recipe came over with the Alphabet family from Czechoslovakia. Then we also do bushty and ring bologna, some of those old Czech traditional things. We also make itrnice and jelita and klachenka, pressbush, those sort of things. And then we've got some Czech polka cassettes. We try to do mainly Czech traditional things to sell, and sometimes they go over, sometimes they don't. My wife makes a dumpling mix, a knedlík mix that add water and egg, and that sells pretty well because most people don't know how to make knedlíky anymore.
But even in the places like Wilbur, Czech language has almost disappeared. Irma Olžecký, famous promoter of Czech events, admits that she is one of few who can still speak the language.
Někdy v sálu se starý gentleman ještě mluví česku, ale tohle už je third generation, tak je to málo.
But 30 miles from Wilbur, at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, young people have been learning Czech for almost 100 years.
Výuka češtiny na univerzitě v Nebrasce má dlouhou historii. A začala se vyučovat v roce 1907.
There were some remarkable people who taught Czech. One of them was Professor Vladimír Kučera.
On si pronajal vagón, který připojoval k vlakům a na to připevnil takový obrovský plakát a na tom plakátu bylo: mluvíte česky, pojďte si popovídat. A s tím vagónem jezdil po celé Nebrasce.
Although Czech at the university had to overcome some major obstacles, it survived to this day. Thanks to financial help from Czech community, some 14 students were able to take Czech 101 this year, and in less than 5 months they learned quite a bit.
I want, since it's the dead week, want you to practice talking.
Má rodina má velký dům.
Velký dům?
Ano.
Kolik pater?
3.
Kolik je hodin?
Nevím, nemám hodiny.
Nemáte hodiny, aha.
In spite of the achievements of these few students, the Czech language won't survive on a large scale in Nebraska. But will the rest of Czech heritage disappear as well? Russ Karpíšek, who is also the mayor of Wilbur, thinks Czech traditions will stay, at least in his town, for some time to come.
Every year you probably lose a little more Czech, but we try to keep as Czech as we can. Our Czech festival has been bigger the last few years, more people, more things going on, so I think we're moving in the right direction.
Czechness, in one form or another, will stay in Nebraska, And as long as Christmas lights in Wilbur will wish Merry Christmas in both languages, it will remind us that the Czechs were greatly responsible for building Nebraska. For Star City News, I am Ondrej Jurik.